It took me about 6 months to build my business to the point where it was making 10k months consistent revenue. And in this video, I want to share with you all of the lessons that I learned and all of the mistakes I made so you can get there a lot faster and avoid all of the headaches I went through in the whole process. So whether you're starting fresh, you're a new business owner, or if you're looking to reset your current path, then this video will give you a clear, actionable strategy in order to achieve your income goals quickly and sustainably. Okay, so let me talk you through this now. And first of all, this is my Shopify sales notification where it clearly shows over a 30-day period making well over 10k in revenue in a month. Here's me recently working on a beach in Vietnam, and I'm currently based in Thailand because I'm living as a digital nomad, and these are the types of things that you can do once you build a business to 10k a month. But I made so many mistakes through the first time when I built myself to a point where I was doing 10k a month that I know now I've got loads of lessons that I can teach you from this process. So I've broken it right down the first time I got to 10k a month, so you can learn from each of the stages that I went through. The first stage that I went through on my way to building a business that was doing 10k a month was initially I just had to make a decision to act. Before this, I was just absorbing loads of information, watching videos like these, listening to podcasts, and just taking in information but not taking any action, not executing on anything that I'd learned. But the start of this process of getting to 10k months was a decision to act. And you can make that decision right now. This can be the video that changes things for you. Today can be the day where your timeline starts for you to get to 10k months, because the change in your life is absolutely huge when you get yourself to that point where you've got a business that's generating 10k a month every single month. So first of all, this is me a few years ago, and I'm quite proud looking back at this person because he didn't know what he was doing. And he just knew that he had to do something about his position. I was in a 9-to-5 job. I was in my hometown of Shrewsbury in the UK, and I knew that I wanted to get out of the road that I was going down. I wasn't going to be reaching my potential. I wasn't going to be achieving the lifestyle goals that I had for myself, and I knew that that wasn't what I wanted to do in my life. But I didn't know what to do to actually get out of it. So the first step for me was just to make a decision, to act, and to act consistently. Rather than just going at something and sprinting and dabbling in something, I knew I was going to act on this consistently, to stop just talking about the goals that I have, but actually take action towards them consistently. So that's what I did first of all. Then the next stage was I went through a stage of trial and error. So because I made a decision to act, I then just started doing whatever I thought I should do. And what that involved for me was starting to try and sell products like this one here, which was a remote control Bluetooth gamepad that you can connect to your phone and play games on your phone. And I thought this was my way of making millions. I thought, I found a product here, I can source it for about £5 and I can sell it for about £30, and I'm going to make my millions because it's such a genius product. But I was completely wrong. And this was one of the biggest errors that I made, was that I was too quick to try and sell products that I had not validated there was a market for at all. Nowadays, the products that I sell, or anything that I'm going to create in the future, I'll only create products where there's already clearly a demand for that product. You must create products that where there's a market already out there for them. Otherwise, it's a lot more time consuming, costly, expensive, and sometimes not even possible to create a market that's not there for products that people don't want. So this is what I learned. I was running Facebook ads to these products. I was building Shopify stores. I tried selling elasticated shoelaces. I tried selling pet products, and I was just going through this trial and error phase. And fair play to me, I was making, I was pushing. I was making some sales, and I was taking effort, and I was taking action every single day, and I was just going through the grind. And there was many days where I just had my head in my hands, where I was thinking, what on earth am I doing this all for? But I kept going because I knew that there would be a way, and I knew I'd find it. But I had to go through this trial and error phase before. And I just wasn't following anything consistent. I wasn't following a proven path to success. I was trying to work it out by myself. That's when things changed. I realized that this was all failing, and all these things I was trying to do was showing me that there is money to be made. I made some sales on Shopify. I sold some products, but I knew that I was never going to make big money if I just tried to do it all on my own. So my next stage of my business, on my journey to getting to 10k a month, was to join a program where I could actually follow a step-by-step plan to actually get a successful business off the ground. So this is me here with Lewis Smith, who is my mentor because he runs Dropship Unlocked, and I joined Dropship Unlocked, which taught me how to sell high-ticket e-commerce products. So when I joined the program, suddenly, because I'd invested in the program, I was taking things so much more seriously. And I learned that if you're going to get to 10k a month, if you're going to make a significant amount of money, if you're going to build a significantly sized business, You can't just dabble with these things. You can't just try and see if it works. You've got to go all in, and you've got to give it your all. I was still in my 9-to-5 job. I was still working full-time hours at my housing association job where I was surveying people's bathrooms. But on the side, in the mornings, in the evenings, on the weekends, I was building stores, I was building marketing campaigns, and I was trying to get this business off the ground. So these are some of the actions that I took to get to 10k a month. So the first thing I did, because it was e-commerce, I had to find a product to sell. So I went through a data validation program that I was taught to make sure that the products I was going to sell clearly had demand already. They were high ticket products. There were clearly suppliers already in the UK that were drop shipping these products to UK customers. And I learned how to understand that there was already a market for the products I was going to sell. And that was huge for me, because then the products I started selling were already selling elsewhere. So I was able to choose a product. This is my little setup in my old little study. And I spent a lot of time there first thing in the morning when it was dark with my hood up, grinding. And I was like that Rocky cutscene where I was like hood up, headphones over my hoodie, and just spending hours at my laptop just trying to work out what on earth I was doing, because it was so different to my housing association job that I was doing in the daytime. So chose a product to sell. Then I started to build a website where I could sell these products. So I used the Shopify tool to build a Shopify website, and I started selling these products through a Shopify website. Then I was able to learn how to get traffic to the products. So I learned how to get people in front of the products that they were looking for, and I did that with Google Ads. And this was all part of my learning stage, that I was taking action, learning how to get people to look at the products that I was selling, and eventually, because I could do it at a profitable rate, I was able to scale that to doing over 10k a month. And there's that sales notification again. And at that point, I was able to leave my 9-to-5 job, and I was able to start traveling the world, which is what I'm doing now. But it didn't come easy, and there were some big lessons that I learned from that process. And now, if you want to do that same process that I've been through, I can help you to speed it up. And that's what I do now with members of my Relentless Co free community. Because I'm just a couple of steps ahead of people that haven't yet succeeded with online business. I've got a community where we share tips, share tricks. In the community, we talk, we hold each other accountable, but also I've put loads of resources together to help people to understand how to be focused, how to be consistent, how to know what it is you're actually going for, how to find accountability partners, loads of resources that I put together for people in that exact position I used to be in, where I was trying to get something off the ground, but this is now designed to help people do it that much quicker than I did. So these are the lessons that I would give to you as a new business owner that wants to get to 10k a month as quickly as possible. So firstly, my message is all about getting the fundamentals right. Now, I come across lots of new business owners, and when I'm working with them, there's some clear trends for the most successful people compared to the least successful people. And that is that the successful people, regardless of the business that they're building, regardless of the stage of business they're at, the experience they've got the right fundamentals in place. And that will be applied to any business model that you're building, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's content, whatever business model you're building. If you've got the fundamentals right, you'll get to 10k a month that much quicker. So these are the fundamentals that I know are crucial to become successful. The first thing is to be able to ask for help. The biggest jump in my success trajectory was when I joined a program and when I was able to ask people for help and stop thinking that I could work it all out on my own. So don't be afraid to ask for help. The second thing is to embrace consistency. So know from the start, I had to learn from the start that whatever I was going to build, if it was going to be something significant and it was going to allow me to travel and reach all the goals I had, I knew it wasn't going to come easy. It wasn't going to be a get-rich-quick scheme. It was going to be something I had to put time and effort into. So the quicker I learnt this, the better. I wish I'd learnt this a bit quicker, but I needed to understand from the start that whatever I do, I need to be able to do it consistently. So embrace that it's going to take time from the very start. The next fundamental is to learn how to focus. I think nowadays it's all too common. People don't understand how to actually focus on anything for longer than 5-10 seconds because of short form content and the way the world is right now. But it's so crucial. If you're going to build anything significant, you've got to be able to focus on what it is you're doing. So when you're building a Shopify store, you can't expect it to be done in 10 minutes, an hour, even 2 or 3 hours. It takes hours of work, and you've got to be able to focus on what you're doing. But you need to know how to learn how to focus. You need to be able to eliminate distractions. You need to be able to get your mind in a position where it's able to focus on something and it's not constantly being pulled in different directions. So learn how to focus, and it will serve you so much quicker when you're building something. And then finally, curate your environment so that everything comes more naturally. Because when you have an environment that's working for you rather than against you, it means you're going with the tide rather than against the tide. It's like having people on your side. So when things are going difficult, they will pull you up and they'll push you back onto the right track. And when things are going well, you can share that back with other people as well and feel even better. And it will keep you going on your journey. And that's why I built a free community, because I believe so strongly in having an environment around us. Nowadays, it's not actually very easy to find, especially in the UK, to find supportive environments that want entrepreneurs to do well. So that's why it's so important to get around the right type of people so that you're swimming downstream rather than upstream. So curate your environment, get your foundations right. But then you can have the right foundations, but you must apply it. So now you've learned these lessons, you've got to take action on it, because knowledge without action is completely pointless. So apply the fundamentals that you've got. Once you've got the fundamentals right, that's when you can go downstream and understand and start taking the specific actions that you take. So for me, I want to focus on teaching people the fundamentals to new entrepreneurs, because that means you can succeed with any business model that you choose. That's why my community and everything that I teach on this channel is all about getting the fundamentals right, because I know that is the key crucial factor to whatever business model you go into. It's not the model you choose. It's not the specific experience that you've got. It's about the fundamentals that we've just talked about. If you've got your mindset in the right place, your environment, then you will be able to achieve whatever it is you're going after. That's why I'm so keen on teaching the fundamentals, and then you just need to apply those to the businesses that you're building. The business models will change over time, but something I can guarantee is the fundamentals will never change. These things I'm teaching now. So take action on the fundamentals you've learned today, get the fundamentals in place, take action consistently, and you'll get to 10k a month quicker than I did. And then you'll be able to experience location freedom, if that's your goal, and you might be able to look as cool as me with a Vietnamese hat on a coconut boat in Vietnam, if that's your goal. So with that said, I hope you've enjoyed the video today. Let me know if you have in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.